Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Hard 3 and in Black Ice version 12 as PRC. So, in previous episode, I do admit that intro doesn't roll off the tongue all that easily. But anyway, in the last episode we were mostly just building up things. We are trying to maintain the IC to be below 150 right now, the total IC, just so that we can get the most out of it really. We've got quite a bit of modifiers in here that are reducing the total industry. But of course, a lot of those will expire over time. We're also getting a lot more industry build, well, some industry builds along here on the front line, so that we can then regain the organization slightly faster and all that. Oh, okay, so some small ship technology there. That's 1940 for the next level, so we can cancel that one. Also, the radar is going to be done soon, so then we can start building radar stations. We'll probably build at least some in HoI, maybe a little bit in Beijing. Like 1 or 2 levels there. We'll probably build some in Xiamen, and then maybe some in Guangzhou, and then in Sanya. So that way we'll have a well, maybe in Shanghai as well, actually. But then we'll have a decent radar coverage along the coastline at least. So if and when we use our planes in those nearby areas, we'll get a bit of boost for the combat. Plus, it might allow us to spot some of the enemy troops in there. But that one's not a guarantee. Tungsten to Germany? No, Germany. I'm not selling you my tungsten. Ooh, there we go. There's the radar. So now we can actually get the fighter ground control. So radar combat impact is at least something that we'll start working on. Also, the fighter bomber to interceptor role, I suppose we could get that a bit of boost. So we got all that. We could start building the radars, I suppose. So some in HoI, then Shanghai was another one that I wanted to build. I'm just going to go with 2 levels each. Also, I should probably go ahead and get some air bases in Xiamen at least. And I suppose Fuzhou could also get to level 4. Then Guangzhou is going to get a bit more radars. And then we'll put in 2 levels over here in Sanya. I suppose we could also get some anti-aircraft guns. And maybe we'll even level up the air base in Sanya to level 4. This would also get a level 4 over here in Haiku. Mostly because that is going to be a very handy location to sink any enemy convoys in here. Because it's very likely that Japan will eventually get Indochina, whether they are at war or not. So if and when that happens, we need to be able to deal some damage to the enemy stuff in there. We're almost back to 100% officer ratio though, so that's quite handy. We have not... Oh no, that got delayed a little bit there. Well, I suppose, yeah, we did lose a bit of industry, didn't we? Ooh, cast armor construction, there we go. What's the next level? That is 1940, so that's going to have to wait. And we haven't unlocked these yet. I suppose, oh, right, we need the tracks to be level 3 first, and that should then unlock a lot of the things in here. There's the... Oh, there's tracks and suspension. That's going to be done in May, okay. So, a bit of delay. But at least it is underway, and there is the 2 interceptors. Put those into the group in Beijing. So now it's reduced the radius back to 135 until these are upgraded, but that's going to be fine. But this is at least going to be something that can somewhat effectively fight against the enemy planes in here. Ooh, Secretary of Public Information Education Advanced, there we go. That is probably ahead of time now, yep. We can cancel that one. Wait, I got the basic education, oh, autarky, we don't need the resources too badly right now. I'm going to say not this time, just so that we can enjoy the 6% higher IC efficiency. Also, did we get any new ministers? Especially if we have any ministers with the economy focus. I don't think we do. Hold on a minute. So we got the descent chains over there, a bit less money. Ruling party support is slightly increasing there. But we could actually go ahead and put in the ambitious union boss. Because the consumer goods during wartime is not going to be a problem. Less dissent, so that's going to be actually quite handy. A bit less support for the ruling party, perhaps, but that's the least of our problems right now. Oh, hold on a minute. That's daily dissent, unity changes, and all that. It's not the worst. Definitely not going to put the reduced leadership modifier. There is the ideological crusader, to be fair, which we could put in there. That's even more or daily dissent chains. Reduction, ruling party support is increased by 1% compared to that one. Revolt risk goes down as well, so yeah, that's actually not a bad one. National defense, oh, economy focus, okay. that is something that we'll take. Then Ministry of the Interior. There's the Health and Education. That would reduce the land organization for a while. There's the Crime Fighter, to be fair. That could actually be quite handy. Although we're currently trying to reduce the war exhaustion, so holding on to that one might not be the worst. Then Head of Intelligence, is there anything else in there? Not really. I mean, that does reduce the leadership. We could go for the other one, but that's the IC efficient production, so I think the leadership right now is the lesser evil of those two. Don't have any new options for the Chief of Staff and Chief of Army. It's probably good as it is. Okay, well, that's at least a slight improvement in there. And in that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to the economy focus. We are going to let the science and ground focus fall down for a little bit because I need those heavy industries. It might take a while before it's fully set, but that's to be expected, really. So now we're... Oh, 0.14. Hold on a minute. So we need very little consumer goods now, thanks to all of that. Well, after we've reduced the descent, of course, but that's not going to take as long as one might think now. It's a matter of a few days. Okay, maybe a week. So we got the core in here, the 5th core. I guess this could be pulled back a little bit. So what we'll have is we'll have at least one over here. Oh, research center. There we go. Single engine airframe research and a small fuel tank research. Very handy. So yeah, we can get something... Ooh. That reminds me, yeah, we're still getting the close air support and fighter bomber prototypes at the next level already in here. We haven't gotten the reconnaissance aircraft research yet either. But that is underway. And then there's the transport ship stuff. There's the mountain HQ and the service. Well, the service HQ is a different thing, but that does reduce the delay quite a bit. By a good 6 hours. So that is already pretty decent. Yeah, we'll probably have 2 more divisions on the Isle of Hainan. Then at least one... Well, I suppose we've got one in here already. We could get a second one, to be fair. Right, there's the research lab and the branch upgrades. Oh, and there's the engine research. We can get the air cooling. Is that... That's 1942 take. Okay, so that's going to have to wait. What do we need for the armor plating? Oh, we need the 4-engine airframe research. Oh, okay. That would reduce the speed for everything, but increases the strength. It's not necessarily a bad thing. But we cannot have the light aircraft for that, which we do not have. Which, that is kind of handy. So I suppose if we get the airframe research, just get that one level. We can then get that. And I suppose we'll go ahead and put in the single engine fighter already underway. Because we want to catch up in those interceptors as much as possible. So we are still going to get another 4 divisions for this core at some point. We might not be able to get those quite yet. But there's going to be 2 in the island, just to provide some protection there. Then probably 2 around Xinjiang. And then 1 probably near, or somewhere near Macau in here, just to provide some support for Guangzhou if need be. Ooh, ground attack focus advanced, there we go. That's slight improvement for the ground attack, although we don't have anything that, well, I suppose the interceptors can do a small amount of ground attack, but it's not particularly effective in it. And there we go, now we're going to reduce our consumer goods quite significantly. We'll leave a little bit extra in there, we can put in a bit more into reinforcement upgrades in the meanwhile. There we go. The interceptors are probably... Well, they're not quite yet fully upgraded, but they are slightly closer at least. All of that is underway. Costa Rica wants to buy crude oil. Okay. That reminds me, where do we have our crude oil? Lanzhou, Zhubei, Beijing, and Tianjin. Okay. So, Lanzhou, we do know where that is. It's down here. So, I suppose we could go ahead and give this a bit of a few oil rigs in here. We'll just go ahead and build that all the way to the max. So, that's going to give us an extra 300% crude oil in here, and the base is 2, so that would be another 6. So that's already a pretty decent increase in there. Although, well, we don't need to use too much right now. Of course, we've got plenty of coal that we can convert into oil as well, and then turn that into fuel. That does remind me, though, another thing that we might want to do is start building up some of the petroleum refinery. Just so that we can convert more oil into fuel. No, actually, I don't remember if it's oh, Special Force branch upgrade. I don't remember if it's you can convert more or you get more fuel per oil converted. But regardless, the end result is going to be more fuel. Not that we are lacking on it all that much. Oh, defense and death advance. There we go. So that is in Human Way Doctrine. So I'm guessing that's probably something that is. Oh yeah, we can actually keep on researching that. Light infantry branch upgrade is going to be done in 2 days. So that's at least not too shabby. Oh, and we started building the tanks now. There we go. The first one is going to be done in, or the second one, technically speaking, is going to be done in May. And then later in the May, we'll get the third one. And there's the branch upgrade. There we go. We got quite a bit of light infantry, which will benefit from the light infantry branch upgrade. So that is already going to be quite handy. Are we aligning towards the... Yes, we are aligning towards the Comintern. We can't join in there yet. Although we're not really that far off. Actually, we might be able to get in there before we even declare the war on Japan. But I think we're going to stay out of it. Actually, in that case, we might go ahead and stop aligning towards the Comintern for now. Because I want to be able to do the war against Japan on my own. At least until we cast them out of the continental side. So that we can then trigger, potentially at least, trigger the peace deal with them where we get Manchuria. And all that. Mountain HQ advance, there we go. So is that unlocking a decision for us? No. So we can't actually get those mountain HQs then. And these can't be upgraded. Actually, no, I think that was in Placer, now that I think of it. Never mind. But like there was a way to upgrade those into different types of headquarters. But they do give better, or some better stats in there. The headquarters, so it's understandable why they're limiting it just to the decision, but it means that basically non-major nations, for the most part, will not have the ability to get those headquarters, even if they research these things. So I'm not going to research any further. There's no point in that. So army headquarters advance. There we go, level 2, so we reduce the delay between attacks to up to 10 hours from that tech branch. There we go. And now we are at least over 100% officer ratio, so that's actually pretty decent. We've got 62.6 leadership. That's not bad. Now, the popularity is definitely causing some issues, and the Japanese, not the Japanese, actually, yeah, the Japanese are indeed causing a bit of issue in there. So there wasn't any, no, there's not really any better options there for the leader in the government, but that's alright. I guess at least we got the economy focus now. I don't suppose we've gotten a lot of the minister buildings yet. No, it's 17% already out of the 100. So once it reaches 100 in the next month, we'll get a heavy industry, which I'm guessing with this speed, it might not take all that long. It might be like every 4 or 5 months we'll get one. Oh, Monroe effect. There we go. And Intercept HQ, that's something that we can now drop from the research queue. NKVD officers purge. Right then. Well, Soviets are weakening themselves. Although, technically speaking, if they don't do that, they get a lot of penalties. So I do understand why the AI chooses those. Ah, right. So we built the pillboxes in Beijing already. Well, they haven't set them up properly yet, so they are still sort of preparing the things in there. But yeah, that's going to be pretty decent defenses. Well, especially with the urban terrain and all that, a bit of pillboxes will already make a decent impact. So I don't think they, like, if we were to start fighting Japanese now, I don't think they'd be able to resist for too long against us. How are we looking on the, okay, we've still got 170 or 169 research underway, but we are doing 55 per, or at the same time, so that's pretty decent. Controlled propeller pitch is going to be done fairly shortly. That's going to reduce the fuel consumption and increase the speed of our planes. Not massively, but it is yet another one of the small impacts, which will then over time give you a pretty decent boost. Or reduction in the fuel consumption anyway. So now we got the pillboxes across the river done. Now we just need to build all the other pillboxes. Ah, the recon combined arms at level 1 now. Right, so have we started working on the pillboxes? Not yet. We're starting to get a lot of the upgrades now, at least, so that's good. Wait a minute, we've got the... Oh, right, hold on a minute. We need to send this one down to one of these units upgrading, like this one. I think we might be needing another headquarters as well, in addition to that. But there we go, this one's already a naval infantry. It will require some time to recover. How's the morale in there? It's got morale of 43%, so not massive. So the organization regain rate isn't all that huge, but I suppose it's better than nothing. And I suppose if we can get the amphibious unit training, that will give us a little bit extra morale in there, but that's going to take some time before we can unlock it. Namely, we need to get the marine activation, and that requires the basing to be level 2 and the naval underway replenishment, which, to be fair, that's going to be unlocked to level 1 soon. So that is at least underway. And I suppose the basing level 2 is also in the research queue, but how long it's going to take before we get that? might be a always completely different question. I think we've got quite a bit of spies right now, so I'm going to go ahead and reduce the espionage a little bit. We've got a fairly good amount of officers as well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the officer recruitment to 6 leadership. So we'll still get a fairly good amount because we are still having quite a bit of production of units. And then we'll reduce the espionage to be... We'll leave like a quarter point of a point there. So it's not very much, like it's 1 spy per month or something like that. But that gives us a bit more research, and that might just allow us to catch up in tech just that tiny bit faster. Oh, we've got manganese shortage. Well, that's not good. Artillery flexibility advance, integrated support advance. So let's go ahead and buy manganese. We can probably buy that from the Soviets, I imagine. No, but we can buy that from South Africa. I guess better than nothing. And the motorized support for the battle commander is done in 2 weeks. There's the mixed support, all the detachments for the naval infantry. And there's the 2 tank battalions, and then there's a whole lot of crates, as well as the units to support the naval infantry. Oh, there we go. Transport ship engine advanced, manganese neutral. So we got all the resources required for ship production, so naval build time is reduced a little bit. Oh, we got the leadership reduction again because of the high IC, so we'll go ahead and activate the seaport to level 1. So we're going to reduce some of these, or just reduce the amount of industry just a tiny bit to keep the leadership in. There we go. It also gives a bit more money and a resource at that seaport thing, so it's not all bad. We're not getting too much money right now, actually. It's only 9 per day. There we go, there's the leadership. So back to 62.6. It won't really go much higher than that right now. Who's wanting to buy tungsten? Hungary? You know what? Hungary is something that I'm willing to give a bit of support in there, because they are a minor nation in the Axis rather than Germany itself. Which Germany probably then bought the tungsten from Japan or something. But it's already March 1939. France had to mobilize their troops already. Poland has mobilized their troops. Oh, there we go. Oh, right. Tungsten surplus is going down, so that's not good. So how close are we able to declare war on Japan? Still need to get another 31 points or so reduced on the neutrality, or gain some threat on me, so on my neutrality. It's currently Germany is the biggest one, but since they are on a different continent and all that, the threat is actually relatively low. Oh, there we go. There's the naval underway replenishment. Very good, very good. Increasing the range of the ships. Unfortunately, it doesn't have an impact on the auxiliary vessels, but it will have basically impact on most others, except like torpedo boats. Which, that reminds me, did we get the torpedo boat research? No, not yet. We are going to do that, though. There's a whole lot of ship research right now underway. There's all the steel armor casting going to level 4. Right, that's in here. Yeah, that's fine. So the tracks were going to be done in, or research in, was it May? Yeah, 10th of May right now. It might change around a little bit. Oh, there's the reconnaissance aircraft design. There we go. It's the next level. That's 1939, so we can keep all researching that. Not necessarily going to prioritize that one, because while it is nice research, well, the surface detection is quite nice to have. It's not necessarily that much required at this point. Ooh, there's the motorized support. Right, this goes for the battle commander. So it's almost a full all division. Just needs that tank destroyer, and then it's done. Actually, how long until that is completed? 8th of April. Oh, right, it's about a week from now. And the naval infantry is also going to be getting some other stuff soon. Science focus up. So we lost some leadership and resource efficiency, but the IC efficient production goes up and we get some more money, so that's actually not bad. We want to get the heavy industry soon enough. It's already 45% actually. You can see on the utility window, just outside the things that is being recorded. There we go. So now we got the naval infantry in here fully. So I suppose what we could do is set up a corps called the Naval Infantry Corps. Very, well, not necessarily very surprising, but very logical. Do we have any units in here? Well, I suppose let's just have a look at the Northern Army first. Is there any more units in here that are like at least skill level 3 or higher? With some potentially nice traits. That's defensive doctrine. That's not really what we're looking for. Logistics wizard could be okay. Mountaineer, that's probably going to be not for this corps. It could probably be good for the Mountaineer corps, to be fair. Oh, Okay, this is Hills Fighter, Mountaineer, Logistics. I think Engineer or something like that could be probably a trait that we should try to find. There's a Trickster, Urban Assault Master, Master Trickster, Commander, so that's not an Engineer. This is an Engineer, on the other hand. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade that. It doesn't have any of the Mountaineer stats directly. But yeah, we'll upgrade that one. We'll give some... let's have a look at the skills in here. Maybe a Trickster on control that, and then we'll put in the Commander over here for the Naval Infantry. That extra Engineer, like, it just gives a bit of a boost there. And it's actually fairly skilled Commander regardless. So when do we get some more upgrades on? It's going to be, well, mostly in April, actually, seems to be the case. There's some units that will be upgraded in May. Although, at least right now, it might change once we start getting some more stuff done. Oh, Warhead Infusing. Is that ahead of time? No, not yet. So we can keep on going with that. And the guidance and propulsion will follow very shortly. There goes the guidance. The propulsion will be done in a few days. Oh, artillery carriers and designs. Ah, we can get the artillery brigades now. Another upgrade. Go ahead and queue that one up then. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put that on the top of the list. Just so that we can get that. I'm also researching the medium artillery. Because especially for like a bit heavier infantry divisions that still will have a decent bit of movements, medium artillery can make quite a difference with the extra soft attack in there. Of course, we can't see the stats of it right now, but once we can, I can point out why it's a good thing to have. Oh, there's a propulsion, so now we can get the torpedoes being researched. At least the basic torpedo is something we want to research. The submarine torpedo doesn't necessarily need to be researched yet, because we don't have any submarine techs or classes available yet anyway. And there we go, the auto ratio is 104%. We've got another tank destroyer, or the first tank destroyer. Let's assign that into the battle commanders unit, and there we go. This is now, I'd say it's a fairly decent, it's not necessarily the best. How much was the armor on this one? It's got armor of 10, okay, so it didn't increase the armor at all. But the piercing attack is improved quite a bit. Well, there's the Naval HQ, so that improves the morale on basically all naval units and a bit of organization as well. So there we go. It also increases the Naval HQ strength, or radio strength, but we don't have any Naval HQs, so it doesn't really make much of a difference in this case. There's a few more units that will be upgraded soon. There's also the recon coverage for the... One of the units will be upgraded soon. I think that might actually be one of the... Yeah, it's this one. That one will be still... Oh, right, the engineer should probably be upgraded into motorized engineer. Just an idea. We are going to get the tanks in here, so that's going to get us to 6 units. I suppose we could put in just probably mixed support. Or we could put something else in there that has some decent movement speed. Let's have a look. We go with the movement speed. But the tank destroyer isn't the worst. I suppose the motorized support is fairly decent, so yeah, we'll build one of these. I mean, actually, the combat stats of it isn't necessarily that massive, although it does give it some toughness. Reduces the softness maybe a little bit. So yeah, we'll get one of those. That's going to be for the... Well, that unit, I guess... We'll go ahead and queue those up a little bit. We do have also the actual motorized infantry in there that hasn't been built up yet. We'll hopefully get to those soon. Now, we do want to get the airbase... I suppose the steel refineries we can drop for the time being. So that's going to free up a little bit more production for the pillboxes and the front... Or upgrade the infantry and all that. There's Air Force HQ. We can't actually build those. Actually, how's the... Oh, right, yeah, the heavy artillery has a much higher soft attack than the artillery. Which, to be fair, doesn't surprise me. We don't have a lot of... oh, carrier aircraft prototype. There we go. So we're not actually going to build those, but that was mostly to unlock the research for the port strike tactics, naval strike tactics, and all that. So especially just for our close air support and all that, we can use them then to do some naval strikes and all that sort of things. Plus, you know, once we get our naval bombers and such, those will benefit. But we can start researching those sooner through researching the carrier air group rather than the... going through first to get the twin engine planes to research, then we need to get the medium bomber, then we can get the naval bomber, and then we can start researching those. So it's so many extra steps to go through that it's just easy one to unlock the carrier air groups, even if you never build them. Just having the option to do so would already be quite useful. There's going to be a whole lot more units upgraded. I suppose a lot of these are... No, that hasn't been upgrading yet. This one has, so there we go. There's probably going to be a decent bit of reinforcement now, because of all of these new upgrades coming in. And probably quite a bit of upgrades for those freshly retrained units. But we need to start from somewhere, so that's where we do. Oh, there we go. Submarine damage control at advance. Oh, right. I suppose the Naval Infantry Corps should probably be assigned under... I guess we'd put it under the First Army. So the First Army is kind of going to be the mixture of all sort of units. At least for the time being. We might reorganize things later on. No, we don't need more fuel. I mean, okay, we do need a little bit, but it's not that bad. We can go on with this speed for a fair bit of time. Ooh, ammunition production advanced and military rations production. So more supply production. Very handy. We've still got 58,000. I mean, we did spend like 50,000 at the start of the year. That kind of makes sense. That we are slowly recovering then. We've still got a few more levels of infrastructure to be built. But that shouldn't take too long. And there's the coal field. That's not necessarily something we need to keep on doing. Netherlands wants to buy a tungsten. That's actually fine. I'm willing to sell some tungsten to the Dutch. Now, Japan, we still can't declare. We still need to get another 30 points away from our neutrality, essentially. But yeah, we might be able to do something about that. So I'm guessing, I guess we can move the battle commander to a little bit to the north, so just to signify that that unit is ready to be moved out wherever it's needed. Again, I do apologize a little bit about the fact that there's just not that much going on quite yet, but it's just a lot of build-up and seeing where and when we can do attacks and all that. And it is part of the experience of playing this. I'm not going to go on speed 5, even though it might work for a little while, but it increases the chance of crash exponentially. So it's just it's going to be wasting a lot of time then with the rebooting the game and all that. Oh, cruiser engine and boilers advanced. There we go. So we are researching the light cruiser already, but it hasn't quite yet done. We're getting some of the stuff over here to research the next level already. Well, actually, yeah, kind of. Truck and prime mover. Oh, that's going to be done in 2 days. So that... No, actually, we got the motorized infantry already, so that's not going to unlock anything new quite yet. But it's another step closer to unlocking the mechanization of infantry, although that's going to take a while still. Not going to happen anytime soon. No, we're not going to buy any fuel. Even though everyone wants to sell me their fuel. Oh, there we go. Medium velocity gun to level 1. Is that, by chance? That is a bit ahead of time, so we can drop that from the list. We can get the, piercing ammo at least. I think we might go ahead and prioritize that one. Also, the engine, or the single engine fighter prototype is almost done. Next level, so that's going to put in another 4 techs into research queue. At the cost of removing 1. Oh, and we got aluminum shortage again. Well, we don't have any planes actively in production right now, so I suppose it doesn't make that much of a difference. Oh, there's the small shipyard in Ningbo. And there's the single engine fighter prototype. Battle commander recognition. Is that... That might actually be... Yeah, that's ahead of time. What we can now do is go ahead and start researching these plane techs. Get those to the top of the list. We did get the truck and prime mover. I'm going to leave that be as is. It will be researched eventually, but it's just... If we start prioritizing too many things, then there's a lot of things that will just get delayed indefinitely. And that's not initially ideal either. We've definitely gotten quite a bit of manpower. We're getting 64 manpower per... Oh, wow. That is a lot. 64 manpower per month. I mean, to be fair, with China, so we got quite a manpower pool. Yeah, there we go. Economic focus stage 1. So the build time of all the units is increased. But we get more industry, which does mean that we'll lose probably some of the leadership now. Which is not ideal. I suppose at this point it might be time to just see the laws. If we were to switch back to heavy industry, would that... Well, that would increase the consumer goods needed quite a bit. So that's not an ideal situation. It would also reduce the research efficiency. We don't necessarily want to go for the war economy if we're not at war, because the extra consumer goods is quite bad, plus the 5% less leadership. We are in the volunteer army right now. I suppose we could potentially go back to the normal conscription. That would increase... Actually... Well, it would increase the manpower a decent bit, I guess. But it would reduce the industry a bit further. Now, to be fair, actually... That might not be a terrible thing to do. That might allow us to get the leadership back to slightly lower levels. It will give us a bit more... Oh, right. We need a bit more consumer goods then, but... I guess that's a sacrifice I'm willing to do. Oh, we've got a tungsten mine online as well. There we go. Let's queue that up. And I suppose we'll just keep on expanding them. Because clearly everyone wants to buy our tungsten. Oh, right, that's going to require a lot more reinforcements suddenly. Well, it's just mostly because we increased the draft time, so it's... or the recruitment, so it's going to be slightly larger amount of manpower that is needed. Per division, but of course we've got quite a few units. Ooh, HE ammunition for the cruisers. And Germany wants to... No, I'm not going to buy your fuel. I don't need it. Suddenly with all the reinforcements, it's going to take a little while before we get back to all of these. At least the infrastructure will be built. Hey, submarine crew berthing, decryption machine. The decryption machine is something that we can stop researching for now. And I suppose the submarine... Well, actually, no, these are something we'll keep on researching. As a low priority, mind you, but we will keep on researching. If we're going to get at least some submarines, we can then maybe inflict some casualties for the Japanese fleet. I mean, probably not the fleet directly. It's probably going to be the planes that are going to do the majority damage. But the submarines can sink some of their convoys at least. And hopefully avoid getting sunk by the carriers and or destroyers. But the naval infantry will be done at least soon. And did we... Right, I believe we had some research in... Oh, right, we're getting the tank destroyers level 2. We can also get the armored car design upgraded. Oh, right, it was the tracks. Right, that is going to be unlocking hopefully something new. There's the production efficiency. We'll go ahead and queue those up. Oh, and there we go. Reinforcements is dropping drastically. So most of the units are now back in full strength, or now they are around 90% strength, which is already pretty decent. And that should allow us to complete most of these builds in here. We are going to have a bit of the pillboxes at least built soon. Well, there we go. IC efficiency goes up. AP ammunition. Oh, and the anti-air weapons for the vehicles. There we go. And that's all the reinforcement basically done. There we go. So, with that, we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.